Well, hello. Welcome back to our asset coach and tax strategist YouTube channel. This is Robert Wolf. I am an asset coach and tax strategist, uh, founder of Terra Firma Business and Financial Consultants. And so today's episode or video is just me jumping on a soapbox and just kind of sharing thoughts, I guess is the best way to put it. If you like any of our content, give us a thumbs up. If you want to hear me more ranting and raving, give me a thumbs up, add some comments down here. Feel free to share this with your other friends, family, and colleagues. So I am pretty much tired of hearing any of the current administration talking about and giving us feel good information that they're doing everything they can. The reality is they've really helped create this issue we have. By the way, it's not by accident that gas prices are starting to go down as we get closer to midterms. Please don't think that this is a permanent thing, because inflation is still high, even though gas prices have gone down. The unfortunate thing is that we really should be in double-digit inflation. We have a strong economy. There's a lot of negative news now, a lot of doom and gloomers. When you look at payroll numbers, when you look at employment numbers, they still look fairly strong. Sure, you're going to hear a lot of businesses, large corporations laying off people. That happens all the time. That happens in good economies. And the reason why they're doing it now is there's a lot of people that are unnecessary. And this is a great time when you have these types of situations, high inflations, you got to cut costs. Here's the deal. If you're a business, if you don't cut costs, you have to raise prices. Well, guess what? Our prices are already higher due to inflation. So if a business wants to stay competitive, they still have to keep their price of their product competitive, or we will not purchase it. Therefore, that affects their bottom line. It's basic business. So what they're doing is they're cutting the fat, so to speak. And I hate to be as crude as that sounds, because people are losing jobs and revenue and income, but those are positions that were probably already on the chopping block anyways. Okay, it just becomes big news now because the media is getting us closer to recession. They're getting us closer to this doom and gloom. They're getting us closer to this midterms. At the end of the day, this is a cycle. This is stuff that's going to happen. Decisions affect these issues, and that's what's happening here. We've had many decisions that have affected us. You can't print trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars and not expect inflation to go up. Just plain and simple. Now, do I think we are going to fall apart? You can watch other YouTube channels. There's some really smart people and really smart channels and some great research. And at the end of the day, many of them they've got a good heart. But if that's what you're focusing on, then that's what's going to happen. Right? If you think positive thoughts, you're going to be positive. If you think negative thoughts, you're going to be negative. If it's the basics of what your mind says is what your actions and your body does. Okay. Now, that being said, there are times where that's not true. For example, Janet Yellen, Secretary of the Treasury, telling us that the new $80 billion or whatever it's going to be over 10 years to the IRS. Remember, everything when the government makes changes in budgets, it's a 10-year period, right? Biden, our current administration, has 2 years, right? So what's the first thing that happened after the previous administration and the new administration? Changes. So all those 10-year plans from the previous administration now are gone. And so what's going to happen this next 10 years? So we can't make decisions based on fear. Gotta make it based on common sense and logic. Okay. And I'm hoping I'm not the only person that's the face of reason here, but they're saying that they're not going to use this money when they hire IRS agents to audit those that make less than $400,000 a year. I call BS. Remember that game BS? So I call BS. I put up my little tag and I call BS. Why? Because they're already auditing. When you think about a point of an audit is to verify the numbers they're receiving. And so some audits, most audits are random, yes. But when they go out purposely looking for audits, they are already said that most audits, about 30 million individual tax returns, file a Schedule C. What's a Schedule C? Schedule C is where you have a side hustle, whatever it is, and you treat it as a business and you take deductions. I'm sorry, a side hustle is not a business. Though you and I say it's a business, we feel like it's a business, we act like a business, but in the IRS's mind, it's a hobby. Because if it was a true business, you would set up a business entity, an LLC, a C Corp, an S Corp, a partnership. An LLC taxes one of those three, C Corp, S Corp, or partnership. Okay, you'd set up a separate trust. You'd set up a separate entity. Now you're in business because you have a separate tax form. You have certain guidelines and requirements to run. Okay, so those audits of less than 400,000 are still going to happen, more so than not. And the reason being is because you have so many people now that are disenfranchised from corporate world because of everything that's gone on over the years. Now, the last couple of years, they're working at home, and now all these corporations are telling everyone to go back to the office, and people are used to being at home now, and gas prices are higher and cost of living's higher, and people are like, I'm not going to drive 30, 40, 50 minutes to the office for the next 10, 30 miles to the office and waste gas just to do what I do at home. That makes no sense. I'm not going to do that. Okay. And so you have a lot of people who are starting to do more side hustles. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying let's be logical about this and understand what they're saying, what the IRS is saying, and Janet Yellen is saying. It's not accurate. They're going to follow the money, period. And if you have, when you take S Corps, C Corps, partnerships, okay, and you total all those up, it's about 12 to 14 million nationally of those types of entities versus close to 30 million Schedule C's filed. Okay, where are you going to follow the money? Right? And if they're trying to get you to believe that they're going to go after the guys with more money, guess what? Those audits take years. Why? Because the wealthy, those business owners, those wealthy individuals have tax teams. They hire lawyers. They have tax professionals to fight the IRS. And most of the time, what happens those audits? Unchanged. They finalize after 10 years of unchanged notice. That's our taxpayer dollars trying to squeeze out what? So let's look at this logically, okay? The IRS needs to increase its enforcement. It needs to have more money. Why? Because there are more businesses out there. There are more people in tough times who do not want to pay their taxes illegally. There's a legal way not to do that, by hiring tax professionals who understand the tax code. Those who don't do that, who want to go on the cheap, are the ones that will get audited. They're the ones that are costing all of us tax dollars because they're lying and cheating. That's just a bad human protocol. That's just bad form. Okay? So when we look at what's going to happen right now, is the reality is the IRS needs it. Now, do I believe IRS agents should be carrying guns? Heck no. If an IRS agent fears for their life going into an audit, or a perpetrator who is causing an IRS agent to need to carry a gun, guess what? Call law enforcement. The sheriff, that's what their point of them are. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be approving my neighbor who maybe has never picked up a gun before, go learn how to shoot a gun, carry a gun, and walk into people's offices. From a government who keeps talking about gun violence, And gun violence typically happens because of people who don't know what they're doing and are mentally angry about stuff. I've worked with IRS agents. They're overworked. They already have caseloads of dozens and dozens and dozens of cases. And when they come knocking on the door, people are like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. IRS agent, come on in. I made some cookies and I've got milk. That doesn't happen. We're angry, frustrated, mad, disappointed, pissed off. And these folks are just trying to verify information. Sure, you're going to run across some agents that are, you know what, in any industry, they're going to be a questionable type of character anyways. The majority of them are just trying to do their job and they're overworked, yes, underpaid. Okay. Now, the simplification of the process of, for example, if you are a senior living on Social Security and or a pension, why in the world do you have to file a tax return? You're getting money from the government and you're getting money from a corporate entity that's filing to the government that they're paying you, and you've been getting this. Why are we wasting time? Why is the IRS processing that? That makes zero sense. How many seniors are in that category? Right? I mean, right off the bat, you can take that workload off. That makes zero sense. And the majority of them aren't filing electronic returns. They're filing paper returns, which is what the IRS is always backlogged on. Okay, so business decisions need to occur. Logic needs to occur. This 80 billion, it's not going to all get to the IRS. But if you're a business owner, you're watching this video, you need to take action. You need to plan for and be held accountable to the guidelines that you and I have agreed to as a business. Financial statements, yes. Bookkeeping, tax returns, yes. Corporate minutes or dialogues or actions or documentation showing what you're doing as a decision maker for the corporation needs to be done. If you're not doing that, then you're not doing half of the job you said you would do. And quite honestly, if you didn't have to file taxes, you wouldn't even do your financial statements, most of us. Okay? You need to do both. You need to do both. There's a great program out there called the Business Protection Program. Highly recommend it. They'll do the corporate minutes for you, and you have a guide who helps you with that. They do documentation of what kind of compensation you should be paying yourself based on census data, Department of Labor, and IRS guidelines of what that means and what you should be compensating yourself, so the IRS gets their payroll taxes legitimately, but you also pay your fair share legitimately. They also provide a business evaluation, so you have an idea where your business valuates at. It's not just your revenue and sales. And additionally, key performance indicators to businesses like yours locally and nationally. So you know areas that you need to show improvement on to run your business. Okay. And then some other ideas of tax strategies and cash flow mapping and tax benefits and stuff. So the Business Protection Program is a great program out there. Highly recommend taking a look at it. There's a link below for you to take a look at what that looks like and talk to one of their folks about that. At the end of the day, everything that's going on as a business owner, you're a leader in not just your business, your home, but you are a leader in your community. And so you got to act as. And so you got to do the things that are necessary to make sure you're taken care of, your employees are taken care of, your family, of course, and your clients and customers. Your clients and customers come to you because they trust you, they like you, they can go someplace else, but they choose to go to you. That's a responsibility as a leader to embrace and to make sure you maintain. So if you like what you've heard, if you want go ahead and subscribe, hit the little bell, give us a thumbs up, add some comments down here. Feel free to share this channel with the other folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here as an advocate for you as a business owner. I am a business owner. I've got multiple businesses in different industries, different teams. And at the end of the day, we are the leaders in our community. So we need to be that, but we need to work with each other. So thank you so much for your time. God bless you. And we'll chat with you guys later. Bye-bye.